welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector Podcast, a 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I'm Alex Midway. We missed all you beautiful people and the Palantir reps that are meant to guard us.
Meant to guard you.
Yeah, at least me.
Don't worry, I got some extreme stuff in my back pocket. I'll be they'll be listening into me too in no time.
Just gonna start signing all my manifestos as Eric.
Yeah, there you go.
So you do anything fun on the weekend?
No, a lot of wedding stuff, and cannot wait for that to be done.
Are you just making a master list of like a perfect wedding, and afterwards anyone else can just swap in a name and it's all done? Because this seems like it's every day, every hour that you are not at work for the past 6 months.
It is an all-consuming process, and the second one thing changes or goes out of stock or is no longer available, everything else changes too.
How are you having supply chain issues in 2026? This isn't COVID.
Yeah, evidently everything we need for this wedding has to run directly through the Strait of Hormuz. So unfortunately, there are a bunch of issues. I did, however, just get ties off of back order. So cross that one off my list this week.
Who's getting ties?
Me and the best man and the officiant. Now the tricky part is getting those pocket squares we need off of back order.
Isn't it just a tie?
No, but it's a specific tie. And if we don't get this tie, what's the point of even getting married? That's how every decision is right now.
What's the tie even say? Is it monogram?
It's it's got a cool, funky design, but she was passionate about it, and then it immediately went on back order, and it's been a thorn in my side ever since. So glad I got to cross that one off the list.
Am I just invited to one day of a wedding that is actually going to be a whole 30 days of festivities, and that's why it's taken so long?
This is a never-ending process, and one day when you get hitched, I hope you have a psychopath over-planner perfectionist, and you get to have a year and a half of misery.
I might just go find someone to marry just so we can plan in 2 days. When I have a thing on park, like, sure, like, what do you want to wear? Like, I don't know, shorts, like, done. Let's move on with our life.
Yeah, the problem is you and I have had very different wedding experiences than ladies generally do. During a meeting with our planners, I don't know, a couple weeks back, they were very, very big on like, well, you know, for like the food aspect. And I just point blank, I was like, I do not remember eating anything at any wedding I've ever been to. I was like, I can tell you which wedding had the longest line to get booze.
It's one memorable things.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's I do not suggest. Just go to the courthouse.
I think your mistake is getting a wedding virgin. It's someone who's never been through it. Right now, I'm getting turned down by moms of 3, multiple marriages on Hinge and whatever else is out there. So if I do end up getting married, it's not going to be my girl's first rodeo. She's like, I don't know, just phone it in.
Well, whatever you, if you're feeling bad about that at all, just remember, Charlie Kirk said we should not be listening to them whatsoever. Who would ever listen to a single mother? So
can your walkout song be "We Are Charlie Kirk"?
Also, I did a little Googling a couple minutes ago. Something brought it up the other day. Over the weekend, I guess, was the 9-month anniversary since we lost old CK.
R.I.P.
Yeah. To which somebody on the interwebs was like, so anybody born today, they definitely celebrated that tragedy between the sheets. But it got me thinking, didn't Erica say she was preggers?
I did hear something about that. She's like, yeah, we have his baby and everything else, and then the baby somehow disappeared. And I don't know, I think the Democrats have an actual process for that.
But I mean, I'm assuming she lives in down in conservative country like us. Like, has anybody called the police on her? Like, shouldn't she be doing life in Texas or something like that right now? If
she has crossed a few state lines where they are still legal, so that might have been the point behind her tour.
You heard it here first. Alex is outright accusing Erica Kirk of either lying about this pregnancy or having an abortion. So you can send your tweets over to Alex at yesshedidthat.com.
If she had a miscarriage, she wouldn't shut up about it. I mean, that would be brought up, but like, if you get an abortion and you're a right-wing talk host, like, you're gonna try to be like, "What, baby?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, if she lost it, she definitely would, like, there'd be we'd already have a book about it, right?
You'd be getting all kinds of merch you'd be pushing for, like, "Jesus Christ, lady, it's your kid." He's like, "Yes, and you can commemorate him with these wedding candles for 7828 in honor of my baby."
You know, I feel like her losing the baby could be the new Never Forget. The way they put that woman on a podium in a
Yeah.
pedestal. It could be. Could this be the nation's biggest tragedy?
What do you think gets more fireworks, the husband or the baby?
Oh, that is I want to go husband.
I'd say the kid gets a bigger guest list. Kid Rock plays at it.
Just did some more double checking. I thought we had a shot at it, but we do not. Looks like Charlie's life abruptly came to an end on September 10th, not 11th. We could have had our welcome drinks be Charlie Kirk themed, but a day later, what's even the point now?
Oh, it is what it is. Just put holes in the bottom of all the glasses. It'll play out well.
What about you? Anything new and exciting?
No, just my life is boring and it's pointless. I don't have any marriages to plan, so I just waste away my existence just day drinking, night drinking, and morning drinking.
Yeah, don't let those guys at Palantir know what you're really doing, planning.
By the time this gets done, I'll be able to claim insanity from all the alcohol coursing through my veins. Like, you can't imagine I said anything sober, boys.
Not admissible.
Yeah.
Laws don't apply to us.
Yeah, it's called defense. I'm also a sovereign citizen too, so suck on that.
Yeah, there you go.
I just need a couple bucks for crypto coin. But let's get this thing started. Let's kick it all off. Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate it. Who said it and when? This should be a layup.
I'm guessing this was Trump while
Correct.
Biden was in office.
Obama.
Well, you know what? They're practically the same, just easy excuse for why our current failures are happening.
Either a white auto pen or a black auto pen, but neither one gets any respect from the current administration.
If it's not gold, what's even the point?
It's not from Home Depot. It's like, why do we even have it in the White House?
Jeez. I wonder how much we paid for that Home Depot spray paint.
Not nearly as much as we paid for that pool, but moving right along and pinning that. So $3.99 was the Tesla stock beforehand when we left you, and it looks like I did not update it, so it's at 404. It's actually gone up, but the co-founder, president, and CEO of Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Fund, Ross Gerber, has called Tesla worthless without SpaceX merger as retail bets rise. And the fact that they are deriding this SpaceX even more now, and the stock has actually gone up to 201 today, and it's based on just people buying it. And it's just, most of the people buying it now are just the peasant class, and the stock keeps going up and up. But saying that Tesla, which has been around for God knows how long, actually has been turning a profit, is useless without SpaceX, is amazing to me.
Well, I think being on the S&P, we're forced to buy it. So I don't know if that's them actually, like, I think this is just pushing, trying to see if they can get more people in, but I'm pretty sure like they're legally obligated to attach our 401ks to the S&P.
Yeah, it used to be, I think, like 6 months or something to get on there, but now that's changed. But a lot of what they're saying is a lot of the people buying it are not institutional investors. It's just Joe Schmo and fanboys just hoping to ride the wave, or diamond hands or hodl or whatever else it is. It's not smart people, because the shares for SpaceX closed 5% higher, and it's now valued at $2.6 trillion. Its market capitalization temporarily passed Amazon. We talked about it when Elon's going to become a trillionaire. He's a trillionaire currently. So that's the whole thing about that. That is insane, the fact that this company passed Amazon.
I cannot wait for Pinata Economics to fully take on. It's going to be so good.
So one of the things about the whole the release of the IPO is that it helped them raise about $60 billion, because much of the stock, like They sold a bunch of stock, yes, but a lot of it's already been printed and given out to people like employees of a company, Elon Musk. And they raised about $60 billion in stock sales, and they went ahead and just spent $60 billion to buy an AI company called Cursor. And this is a company who already has a $2.6 billion or trillion dollar valuation and came off of losing nearly $5 billion. And I just blew through all of the money they raised by selling their stuff.
Yeah, I don't see, I understand it's not how much you make, it's the valuation or whatever.
Field.
Yeah, I don't care. It's all fake. But SpaceX doesn't actually make a product that you can profit off of other than our tax dollars.
Oh, my friend, I'm sure you watched the fight on the White House lawn, and Starlink was definitely prevalently pictured in much of the advertisements.
Yeah, again, but other than every 4 years trying to overturn an election, what does Starlink actually do?
I mean, returns on investment
Allegedly.
Starlink show up to work one day out of every 4 years, and just change the results of the people. That's not too bad.
We're gonna have the greatest. That's when we become great again. When people stop referring to the French Revolution, they're just like, remember that real American Revolution?
Won't have it. We're all simping for our billionaires. We will never rise to the level of that awesomeness.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like only about 27% of us are simping for it right now. So still waiting to hear back from the 74.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. We'll get more into that, but SpaceX, they have a staggered tiered lockup structure rather than a standard 6-month all or nothing release. So what you want to keep an eye out on is people are going to be able to start selling this stuff at day 70, 90, 105, 120, and 135. And one of the biggest tests to take a look at it is actually going to be in the late July, August area, and it's going to be right after Q2 earnings call. So expect that to be completely inflated, but you should see how many people sell it at that point.
Yeah, some guy on TikTok said this was going to end up being the greatest stock scam of all time, and we're all going to lose. And frankly, if it gets us to pinata economics, I'm okay with it at this point. I think the ROI of beating billionaires to death and taking their money and redistributing is probably better than whatever couple shekels you were going to make off of or lose off of your StockX stock.
You got to do an actual episode on pinata economics just to tell people what it is. You mentioned it quite a few times. I know about it, but we listeners do not.
All right, we'll save it for Thursday, and I'll go into detail. It's about three sentences long, and I'm guessing you can figure it out, but we'll do a deep dive.
10 gets you 20. He does not have it ready by Thursday.
I could spitball it right now.
I said what I said.
Yeah.
But over in Ukraine, it was a busy weekend as Russia knew that Don would be watching grown men touch each other in the lawn, and Russia went ahead and launched a bunch of missile attacks at Kiev. And let's start off with a little bit of a good news. So Russia went ahead and launched 6 Zircon hypersonic missiles. And these missiles fly between Mach 8 and Mach 9, and Putin calls them Russia's super weapons. And another guy who called things super weapons had a little bit of a German accent, but yeah, whatever. Nazis are in Ukraine. Do you know how fast Mach 8 or Mach 9 are?
I think in Top Gun 2, Mach 5 basically makes you pass out. So I'm guessing faster than that?
1.7 miles a second is how fast these things fly. And the Ukrainians shot down 5 of the 6 missiles that were traveling effing 1.7 miles a second. And they are running short on Patriot missiles. They are working with all kinds of things and are facing these missiles, which were previously thought to be uninterceptable, and they're shooting down 5 out of 6. That's pretty good numbers.
1.7 miles per second is sounds insane.
Yeah. It's when I used to run marathons, that was my running pace on game day.
That's fair enough. Yeah. You've got the medals to prove it.
So no, but they did shot down 5 of them. At least one of them went through, and over that night, Russia went ahead and launched 681 air assets, and 6 of the Zircon missiles, 34 Iskanders, 30 KH-101 cruise missiles, and 611 UAVs. And at least one of those things landed on the Kiev-Pechaska Lavra, which was founded back in 1050 AD. So it's been alive for a couple days, and it was started by a divinely inspired monk named Anthony who sought peace and prayer. And it's a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site, but we're not getting much peace and prayer in that area.
How are these monks surviving there with all the Nazis and stuff that are completely just taking over the country?
Yeah, again, it's Russia's the one which is a big Christian nation, but they have a third most divorces in the world. But Ukrainians are all the Nazis. That's the narrative I'm supposed to believe.
Okay, it didn't make sense for a second there, but then you explained it better, and I'm wrong. Okay, got it.
As long as we watch RT as our only source of information, then we should be just fine parroting the narrative.
Well, we're getting close over here, but pin in that one for Thursday.
So, big ups to the European officials as Europe, they started on Monday, launched accession talks with both Ukraine and Moldova. It's all of the EU member states agreed last week to open it, and so that's starting. Ukraine applied for EU membership shortly after the 22 invasion. They were granted a candidate status in December of 23, but all EU leaders had to essentially say yes on this one, and, well, Viktor Orban was there helping out the Russians by voting it down the entire time. Now that Peter Magyar's in power, he went ahead and said, yeah, man, this is fine, let them join. So those talks have started.
Well, good. I hope that clears through, and I hope that Ukraine gets to join a group that will stand by what they have written down and will fight back if anybody attacks them.
Yes, and one thing it's not in the show notes is I gave you a layup on who said it, so I'm gonna throw you one right now, and it's gonna tell you an event that took place. Did you hear about what happened in Keir Starmer to him in Britain?
I did not know.
So the BBC has revealed that the Russian government was behind the arson attacks on Keir Starmer's home and car. So essentially they threw a bunch of Molotov cocktails at the PM of Britain's car and his house, and the BBC just revealed that the Russians are behind it. Right now, they're all meeting in G7, but what do you think Great Britain's doing to retaliate?
I'm guessing also trying to pull back Russian sanctions.
In unrelated news, Great Britain's going to provide Ukraine with enriched uranium for $280 million, Prime Minister Starmer says. Yes, for nuclear power plants.
So even England is back to having balls now?
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, these guys need nuclear power plants, so we're going to sell them some enriched uranium real quick, right after they firebomb my car.
Are we the only sissies left?
We suck as far as it comes to the Russians.
Oh, God. Remember when red-blooded American used to mean, like, tough guy, and now it's just like, oh, you're the bench warmers, huh?
Red-blooded meant we ate steak back in the day. Now it's all filled with screwworm.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe this Joe Biden plan to give us all screwworm.
Yeah.
God, I hate this.
We'll get into the screwworm a little bit later, but on the bright side, we finally have a ceasefire, and it's going to be signed in person this Friday, which is an entire week later than what Donnie was saying last week, but we know how that guy rolls. And also, the jury's kind of out whether it's going to be signed or not. There's a $300 billion slush fund that apparently is going to be coming out to Iran. And when J.D. Vance was asked about it, he was like, well, it's maybe they'll have it, but it's going to be paid by the Gulf states. And Iran also said that Israel has to pull out of Lebanon as part of the deal. But as far as Israel seeing Lebanon, it's kind of like a meth head looking at copper piping inside of an empty house. I mean, they're going in.
Yeah, so the little bit I did get to look into this, and again, it's all very vague because there is, like, nobody's seen any kind of paperwork on this proposal. But essentially, we're basically giving Iran $300 billion to help rebuild after blowing $100 billion on trying to blow them up. We'll have talks about how much uranium they can have and what kind of percentages it can go up to, but we're going to kick that can down the road. If what I'm reading is true, we lost this like badly. This is a surrender.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of these things, essentially, not much of it is known, but what has come out doesn't sound very good. In addition of the $300 billion, which J.D. Vance was not denying, so that makes me think it's definitely there. But we also lost the service members in the war, all the people who got injured in it, the black eye that we got, all the missiles that we ran through will take years to pretty much put back in. And with at least 30 billion that it cost us to have this war. Like, what the F was the point of this thing?
Well, maybe this is all just a master plan to make us look like a bunch of biatches. Because we look terrible. Like, not only are we Israel's cuck, we're not even like a good goon anymore.
But on the right side, our boy's still looking hard as hell, because he came out and said, he's like, yeah, I never thought about sending, never even thought about it, but I will. I'll send it to Congress. I like the idea. And this was talking about the, what was that called? Memorandum of Understanding to Congress for approval. Technically, it's supposed to be sent to Congress within 5 days, and Congress then has 30 days to vote on a resolution, whether to not approve it or not. But Dottie didn't even we didn't ask to go to war, so clearly, like, the clan of eunuchs who lives out there in Congress led by Fetterman, they're not going to do anything that Donnie doesn't tell them not to do.
Well, a bunch of the difference is within the 100 days of this war, from where it started to where we are now, he's already primaried a bunch of his lame duck guys, and they've got 6 months to be like, no, keep fighting it. Keep fighting it. Everybody loves the economy right now. Keep going.
I mean, that's why we're trying to get it back so everything goes. And I do love the fact that they're like, yeah, he stopped this war. Like, he also started it. It's like the kid who starts to burn down your house, but then he brings a bucket of water. You're like, that kid's an effing hero. Like, no, he's not. He's a piece of ass. Like, he's the one who was pouring gas on it before you guys got there. It's like, well, the stock markets are reacting and they're only going up. Like, this is insanity.
Yeah, and I think more Americans are like me, where they don't understand or trust the stock market. So I don't know why we keep going back to where the Dow is when it comes to things like, yeah, I may have raped a child, but you know what I mean? I don't understand how this is getting play.
Yeah, it's like saying that's the pulse of America. It's like saying, like, this sentiment in, I don't know, Dallas, Texas is how many people go to a park in Vermont. Like, those two aren't related. Like, people going to a park in Vermont has nothing to do with how the people in Texas are doing. Like, the average American doesn't have a multi-million-dollar portfolio. So saying, like, well, the Dow is up, like, yeah, but we are also losing, like, my bills are up and everything else is going to hell. He's like, yeah, but the Dow, like, makes no difference to me.
But the inflation.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way to counter it, is go, yeah, but the inflation, though.
So,
and that's what he ran on.
Anyone who's been a staunch supporter of a president and going to Iraq to get rid of, or going to Iran to get rid of nuclear. Well, sorry, that's a song we already did earlier in America's Life. So we're on to the other one. But there was a video of him at G7, and he's sitting down there, and obviously he's got cameras on him, so he's going to talk. He's like, yeah, but I saw this entire mountain. The mountain just imploded, and we have cameras in this mountain, and we're monitoring, and apparently there's nuclear material in there, but it's little value. It's like $500,000. He's like, I don't even know if it's worth going in there. It's like, whoa. Like, you started this effing war about the nuclear program. But again, just to recap, what they're signing on Friday is a memorandum of understanding. It's not a thing that says, like, everything's been worked out. All it says is you're going to negotiate. And one of the things you're going to be negotiating was the red line for America was Iran's nuclear program. But if a final deal is kind of like getting past at Olive Garden, we're just coming down to the table right now, and they haven't even dropped off a breadstick. So it's not even close to being finished.
So if this memorandum of understanding is so important that it's got to go to Congress, why didn't we get one this entire time that Jared Kushner and some other real estate a-hole were doing all the negotiating?
You don't have time for that. You need it's a fast-moving environment. You got to move really fast. And as you saw Peter Hegseth when he was trying to lift weights and going from one side to another, it's a new age. We have to move quickly, and we don't have time for oversight.
Okay, fair enough. Pinning that real quick, though. Slight pivot, 5 seconds. You're going to tell me you want us to believe Hegseth benched 315 a month ago and then almost murdered himself trying to do 135 on that bench?
Well, he's carrying the weight of the entire armed forces on his back, so he might be tired. Maybe if the rest of those stupid Marines, Navy SEALs, and everyone else picked up the slack and did something in Iran, he wouldn't be so tired. Plus, he may have been drunk.
Yeah. So 15-year-old Eric could throw up 135 and back in high school in sophomore year. So should I just be running the military instead?
You missed your opportunity. You should have got a whole thing on your arm, went to like a tattoo that says infidel, then went over to Fox News and then just cucked for a big orange president. I mean, that's the path to success here in America.
Yeah, why are we wasting our time with this whole democracy thing? Like, should we just switch? Should we just pivot now and then hope the money comes later? Or?
I've been hoping that some far right winger just floats us a check for some money, just go straight, you know what, just pro-Israel. Anything else is anti-Semitic. I can't wait to start playing heels to democracy.
Yeah. Oh, later off here, I got to pitch this idea to you for conservative office supplies. Where it's just red, white, and blue tape dispensers and staplers and stuff. We can make a mint.
Yeah. Just
made in America, even though it clearly says made in Taiwan underneath it.
Taiwan, we ain't got money for that. It's just, it's going to be straight up China.
We're going mainland.
Yeah. See you in the Palantir, boys.
All right, fair enough.
So, but, I mean, the whole thing with Iran, we'll get that taken care of. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. BB will tell us what he wants us to do, so we'll figure it out. But hopefully BB's got an idea for this reflecting pool, because they just got done with a $14 million renovation. And today's Tuesday, and today there's videos coming out of workers are pouring in hydrogen peroxide into the pool because the entire thing is covered in algae. And who could have guessed that painting it blue would have a dark blue that absorbs light without fixing as far as a water treatment, like would make the temperature go up, then algae would grow. A scientist. But the one thing that it's hilarious because they're pouring into hydrogen peroxide, but I saw one guy put up, he's like, I did the math. It's going to take about 2,100 gallons of hydrogen peroxide to get it for 50 parts per million ratio where it actually kills algae. So they're just wasting hydrogen peroxide in there.
Well, if we wanted some science nerd to tell my very good pool guys how to deal with a not swimming pool, we would have elected a Democrat. No, here's my thing though. I saw somebody bring this up. This is even dumber because the whole like we're gonna have it American flag blue, like that works all well and good if your water is chlorinated and crystal clear going into it, like a swimming pool would be. Unfortunately, this water comes from the Potomac. And anybody who's ever been to Washington, D.C. will tell you that is brown at best. It is not, you all saw the video of RFK swimming in Poop River. Yeah, that's the water that's in there. So painting it darker isn't really helping anything here. And it's definitely not doing anything to fix the algae.
What the F did we pay $14 million for? Because they didn't fix any of the filtration. They didn't fix the leaks. Like, from what I understand, they dumped the water out, let it dry, power washed it, and then, like, got a couple paint rollers and start rolling out some Sherwin-Williams on top. Like, what else did they do?
I'm assuming if we call and ask, they're just going to go into Trump mode where they're like, "You're quiet piggy. You don't even know anything about pools. This is clearly those radical liberals dumping algae back into our beautifully clean water."
I mean, I get it. You can say that if there wasn't algae in a pool. You can tell me I'm an idiot. But if you're also an idiot, like, I'm not the idiot who blew through $14 million. You are. We can both be dumb. You just used up a lot of my money, and you're dumb.
Well, the problem is you instinctively have some sort of humility if you're not an expert on a subject and ask questions. Whereas if you blindly go in going, I'm definitely the smartest guy in this room and do not care about anybody else's opinions. If anybody disagrees, they're a hater and jealous. Then, you can have that kind of confidence to win people over, like presidents paying for a $14 million for an originally estimated $1 million job. Idiot. Georgia.
A good segue to moving into Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, as she went ahead and announced $850 million in federal funding to stop a screwworm invasion. And the White House has actually come out and said it could be even up to $1 billion. And I know it sounds great by them when they say it. We're spending $1 billion to protect our farmers. Like, the problem is, Doge took an axe to the whole program. And Rollins is saying that's fake news because she's a lifelong farmer. Nope, she is only a lawyer. And what she ended up saying is like, what we did was reallocate resources and prioritize what matters. Insurance taxpayer dollars are used effectively while leaning in aggressively on preparedness. I don't know how the F you got prepared because a screwworm's back.
Yeah, no, there was no prepared. They cut all the funding for it because of idiots like John McCain, 25 years ago, RIP, where he was like, look at all this dumb things liberals are doing, like neutering all these male flies. How does that help? And again, it all comes back to it don't make no sense to me, so it must not be right. Like, why don't you just try asking the scientists first? Let them explain it to you. And they're like, we ain't making flies gay.
McCain was at least smart enough to use that for clicks and not act on it. Like, he's not the one who canceled the whole thing. Like, we have a president in there, and they let now a trillionaire lead a whole thing about gutting the government on everything but grants to said trillionaire's company.
No, it's a Republican epidemic that we're dealing with here of just, I don't care what the science says. Look at this post on Facebook.
Can we start when the next Democratic president comes in, can we start a program where we send out unfertile, Republican women so the Republicans can't mate? And we deal with a screwworm the same way we deal with, MAGA. Like, any MAGA event, anyone going there's got to be fixed, so you can't reproduce.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, hey, you know what? We won't have to worry about abortions anymore. We'll just start sterilizing you. Before you pivot on, Brooke Rollins, I 100% thought it was Kristi Noem when I pulled up her image.
I mean, they have a central casting look they're going for.
I think your boy has a type.
Yeah.
And it's 9-year-old boy. Anywho.
Yeah, she's out there. Did you take a look at what her previous track record was that made her so viable for Secretary of Agriculture?
No, I saw she's a lawyer, and I went, oh, we're screwed. It doesn't.
And she was like, what's it called? Talking to farmers, just like Kristi Noem was out there cosplaying with a cowboy hat. I'm like, you people suck.
If she didn't have a straw hat and overalls on, she's not doing it right. And I'm guessing she's out before the end of the year.
If her husband isn't her first cousin, I don't want to hear anything about farming from that broad.
If her husband doesn't have a leaked post of him with giant fake boobies, I don't care about any of her opinions.
She better be doing her press conferences with dip spit. She shows up with a little Gatorade jug, it's a little bit brown, go every now and then. Like, you know what? I trust this chick. Like, she's fully gotten into the role of agriculture.
A straight, just for clarification, a straight white male pretending to have giant boobs for whatever sexual game you're whacking it to online. Does that count as drag?
This is a very sensitive time for our family, so please have a little bit of respect and step away from asking questions, because it's been brought to light that we're complete hypocrites in what we say out loud and what we actually do in the bedroom.
All right, fair enough. I thought you were going to roll with joke, but you went with something serious that they actually said, which is almost funnier.
So it's one thing that Brooke also came out with, going back to the screwworm. She's like, yeah, the agency added more than 100 full-time staff dedicated to the infestation, compared to just 10 under the Biden administration. Like, well, that makes sense, Brooke, because there was no infestation during Biden. Like, we also cut down on the number of iron lung machines we have in here because we eliminated polio. But I think, you know what? Just a guess, we should probably start rolling a couple of them out since we got away from the vaccines.
Yeah, 4 years ago, we had no construction workers at the White House. Literally nothing happening over there. Now, hundreds, when they are legally allowed to come in to figure out this destroy bill. Like, you made this problem, so the response needs to be bigger. Back when it was under control and adults were in the room running the show, you didn't need that much. It's I don't know how to explain it to you. Sometimes I can explain it to you. I can't understand it for you.
Yeah, it's like if a house is burning and be like, look, we got all these firemen, all these jobs, we got to mobilize. Now they're all out here working. Like, I mean, they were chilling in their clubhouse before you started this fire. Like, we don't need to start a problem to make these guys go out and do something. It's the same thing here. Like, we hired 100 staff. Like, well, maybe if you didn't gut the 10 that were working there beforehand, you wouldn't need 100 now, because in case you're keeping track, the USDA was spending between 50 and 30 million a year just taking care of this problem before quietly. It's like, and now we're dumping almost $1 billion. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, you don't understand finance. I get what you're saying here. They are right. They've never made a mistake, and you and I will pay for their learning process here. It's fine. I'm sure this won't happen again. It's not like there was a giant pandemic or anything that we could have learned from.
I mean, we learned from it. As long as we don't actually do testing, then we recover from it. But the fact that they have no problem starting a war, like, oh yeah, we got money for a war, like, we got money to dump into $1 billion into this screwworm thing. Like, but when it's like SNAP benefits or anything else, be like, well, we got to really sharpen up our pencil. We have money for these starving kids. Like, Republicans don't care about children after they're out of a womb. Like, that's a guaranteed thing now.
Until they reach roughly about 9 years old, from everything I've been reading about this Epstein thing.
They want the medium rare cut.
Yeah. Anywho, Big Boy's birthday extravaganza went on as planned, as Mother Nature swerved all the liberals and did not do a run-in on this as projected. So, F you, Apple weather. Originally, they were saying there was going to be torrential downpour and maybe even hail. And honestly, it kind of looked that way for a little bit from what I've read. But yeah, ended up being a dry evening, so nothing got canceled. The UFC event kicked off at about 8 p.m. and finished up right around 1 a.m., so super convenient for those working class fellas you seem to claim to love so much. Biggest shocker of the night came when prolapsed anus Josh Hokic TKO'd the Black Beast Derek Lewis, then grabbed the mic from a very short-looking Joe Rogan and claimed Michelle Obama was a man. So, keeping it classy.
I mean, first, there's a lot to unpack there. Like, did you see the fact that they lit off fireworks at 1 a.m. after it all ended?
Yes, I did. I'm sure everybody loved that in the surrounding areas.
We can't have concerts in the middle of nowhere, like, after 10 or 11 p.m. This guy's like, F them, launch the fireworks at 1 a.m. on Sunday. Like, what are you doing?
I hope every conservative overreacting mother out there called 911. I hope every single one of them did it. Or else you keep your filthy mouth shut over 4th of July weekend.
Just out there on next door, be like, I think I saw some black people out there shooting guns. Like, they're effing fireworks from the White House. Like, shut up. Also, did you see the weigh-in for Josh Hockett?
Yes. Yes, I did, where he throws up on himself.
Well, he just spat on himself, but he's like, yeah. He's like, maybe I did go out drinking yesterday.
So I've got a theory on this. I have never seen this guy before that clip of him throwing up, before the fight. I think he is going out of his way to make a clear difference between his professional wrestling persona with that stupid do-rag and who he is outside of the octagon. I think that is all made up BS. I think it is a character he's playing.
I mean, he was a drunk hillbilly at the weigh-in, and he was a racist piece of S at the actual fight. I'm pretty sure that's the center of a Venn diagram.
I'm just telling you right now, eventually he's going to come out and be like, I didn't mean any of that. It's just a character I'm playing.
Right.
I'm telling you.
He's eventually going to come out like wearing an armband and saluting Hitler just like Elon. Like, that's what's eventually going to happen.
Well, it is going to come, and then once the blue takes back over, we'll get that. Like, no, guys, it was just a character I was playing.
I mean,
it's coming. I've seen this before.
Agree to disagree, but I'll give credit where credit is due. But man, TKO'd like Derek Lewis. Like, I did not see that one coming.
Derek Lewis. There was at one point rewatching it or watching it the next day that I legitimately sat. I was like, is he throwing this fight? He looked like his feet were cemented to the ground. He looked like he was breathing heavy, like he was winded as he was walking to the octagon.
I didn't watch a lot of it. Like, I tuned in on some of them. Like, the first fight I saw was just they all walked out to like Mexican music. I'm like, that's got to be off to a good start at that White House. I mean, credit to what's it called, the Marine Band. Like those guys and gals were on point. But I remember I was going for hockey, and I'd be tuning back into UFC, and I tuned in one time, and somebody won some match. Like, I like to thank President Trump. I'm like, yeah, nope, not doing this. Went right back to hockey.
Yeah, every single fight, as I assume, ended the same way, and just.
I mean, hockey gave his chain over to Trump.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope that guy trips down a flight of stairs.
I hope that thing has all kinds of diseases, and that's a thing that finally kills him. He's like, God.
He doesn't look like a clean man, so let's hope so. Let's hope for the best. Other big shock of the night was main event. Minus 480 underdog Justin Gaethje beat lightweight champion Ilia Topuria for the lightweight belt. And I almost pulled my shoulder out of its socket reaching for my tinfoil hat when I read that. I was like, there's no way. That is too USA, go America, it's daddy's birthday. It sounded fake. It sounded like the end of a WrestleMania. And so I went and watched that fight, and definitely not rigged that way. I have never seen a face that swollen before in my life. It looked like the end of Rocky 1.
No, I had no idea it was that far of an actual difference in it. But some of the other fights on there, like, they weren't rigged, I don't think, because what's his name? That Michael Chandler guy just rocked in the first round.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying all of them were. I said I had a feeling at least one was. Derek Lewis specifically. Yeah. So I don't know if he overtrained or if I don't know what happened, but he looked like he was drugged. He looked like he just finished remember when we went to Heart Attack Grill and I wanted to die after completing the quadruple bypass? Humble brag. He looked like me after that, only much darker and in better shape.
Pretty sure I know what happened with Derek Lewis because that White House probably had 2 different water fountains and one of them had a whole lot of downers in it, and they're like, Derek, you drink from that one right there. He's like, what the hell? He's like, all right, well, the rules are rules, I guess. And next thing you know, he's feeling all fuzzy.
Yeah, Derek, the sniper on the roof has you locked in. So I'm guessing you're taking an L tonight, right, buddy? So big up to Gaethje for winning. The other thing I thought was kind of fun when it was time for him to walk out, he's in the Oval Office staring at, I'm guessing it was the Declaration of Independence, they said, which I thought was in the Smithsonian, but, Trump's probably just taking it with him, so it doesn't matter. He's sitting there reading it, and then he turns around and does his walkout. And when they asked about him about that after the fight, he goes, yeah, I was trying to read it, but it's in a different language. Care to guess what language the Declaration of Independence is written in?
I mean, Shakespearean English. Maybe he's not used to that one, like ye old and everything else like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's cursive. I think Justin Gaethje has never seen cursive before.
The fact is, this happened before the fight, before the brain damage was set in that day. So, I mean, it's like Jason Statham. Jason Statham isn't exactly going to do a Oscar-winning performance, but he's able to do, like, action movies. Gaethje, he can't read cursive, but he can beat a dude up. So he stays in his lane.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's definitely a window licker, but, why be smart when you can be a millionaire just beating the piss out of another 155-pound guy? I'm all credit to him. That dude's been through some wars. He's been very entertaining. But, I mean, come on, buddy. Like...
Do you think Dana White makes his next contract in cursive and just screws the living hell out of him? He's like, you will pay us $15 million for fight. He's like, well, I trust you, Dana. He's like, yeah, that's right. Sign it, boy.
Also, all payments will now be in crypto. Trust me, it'll never dip.
USD1.
Yeah. Another fun conspiracy coming out of the UFC is Daniel Cormier, former heavyweight champion turned commentator, shared some texts he had back and forth with Eric Trump, with Eric asking for inside information on fighters, like unreported injuries, perhaps, mentioning that odds look pretty good on this one. If this guy's injured, this underdog could pay out really well. Insider trading. We can also do it for sports, evidently. Who knew?
Did you look at the actual screen grab of it?
I did, yes.
To anyone who has it, like the conversation starts out, he's like, hey, DC, what's going on? It's Eric. And Corbet's like, hey man, looking forward to seeing you and your family, yada yada, like cordial. He's like, and then Eric's like, hey man, anybody injured? Anybody limping around there? You know of anything in there? He's like, no man, I don't know anything like that. He's like, what about a flu? Anyone got a flu? He's like, nah. He's like, and then Eric's like, listen man, I'm gonna just skip right to it. He's like, I'm thinking about betting on this card. Like, tell me what you know about it. Like, the guy tries to go nonchalantly, like try to slip a cop a 20, and then he's like, what's your last name? I'm writing you a check. Like, he just stops beating around the bush. He's like, I want to do insider trading.
Yeah, no, we let Congress do it. We should let sports people do it too. You know, who cares?
Like, what are you going to do? Have a blank part and go F yourself?
Yeah, so somebody caught up with DC after the event as he was walking through the crowd and said, what's going on with these screen grabs you posted? And DC's face dropped and said, that wasn't me. I don't know what any of that is. I've never posted anything like that. I've never gotten any of those text messages. I must have been hacked, I guess, and walked off. And I gotta tell you, did you see him when they asked him about it?
I didn't see that one, no.
No, he is not like, if somebody was like, hey man, look at all this stuff posted from your Instagram or whatever, and be like, oh, first thing you do is grab your phone and look, right? Nothing. There was no, didn't seem like he cared a whole lot if he got hacked or not. Which leads me to the question, what did they threaten him with?
It's also a whole thing, like, we hacked DC's, like, phone, his Twitter account, and then we start posting screen grabs of him and Eric Trump. Like, that's not what I'm doing if I hack that account. Like, there's other things to do.
Yeah, no, I would have said something super derogatory about the event I'm commentating, and then, you know, just let it explode by itself. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. I think it's real.
I do. It's 100% real, but it's weird because he said, like, in his post where he posted up the screen grabs, he's like, hey man, I like this sport, I like the integrity of it, and I just want to be clear, like, I would never do this and yada yada. And then he's like, no, that never happened. There's no such thing going on. Like, that's spine. Again, that's a Republican gummy worm spine.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of other athletes who are also morons, fifth place loser Riley Gaines got caught being chock full of BS when footage leaked of her getting instructed on her sincerely held beliefs this week. She was doing what looks like an infomercial for Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Yuck. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to Gaines, who's looking off camera going, wait, tell me the pillars again? It's pro-life, and then a little bit of muffled talking. And then you hear a producer go, blah, 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 First Amendment, Second Amendment. And she goes, okay. Then she turns to the camera with her crazy Stepford wife eye look on her face and goes, the First Amendment, Second Amendment, sanctity of life, and our veterans. These are all things I feel very passionately about.
First of all, what the F does the Second Amendment have to do with your cell phone?
Maybe they're also they're going to Elon it and then pivot to guns after this makes them no money.
We're a gun company now. Like, you sell cell phones, dude. Like, what are you doing?
We're selling guns shaped like cell phones now. The kids will love it.
Have you seen the Patriot Mobile website?
Just what I clicked on, just to be like, there, what is this thing? And then I saw it was a wireless provider. I was like, my God, I don't have time for this.
Don't sell it short, because it's America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. And it's called Defenders of Freedom - Patriot Mobile, mobilizing freedom. Like, and they have Charlie Kirk's big old head on here. No, is that Charlie? I think it might be him. Whatever, like some guy with a big old dome. Steve Bannon, Dan Bongino, and 3 other like D-list people on there. But the fact that you need to be reminded of what principles you stand for in life, be like, what are we angry about this week? Like the trans? Like, fair enough. It's kind of like the White House being sponsored by Bud Light when these guys were blowing up Bud Light cans not even a year ago, but now it's all back in there.
So I'm on the site here, and I'm not seeing a bunch of spokesmen. Oh, here we go. We NASCAR, Sea to Shining Sea aboard the USS Midway. And yeah, a bunch of guys that look like they were in the Epstein files.
Uh-huh.
Or hid those men from the Epstein files, right, Dan?
Wait, wasn't Trump Mobile supposed to come out and like kind of replace that?
I
Because
thought
he,
that was just the phone, whereas this is the whole wireless network.
oh, I would give it within 6 months he has his own network, and one of the things in fine print be like, yeah, we're gonna monitor you. He's like, I don't care, look, do it, brother.
Also, just found out. Speaking of Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, have you ever heard of Turning Point US Gay?
Yeah, but I like where this is going.
Evidently, it is a drag show. I got a link to it from one of our listeners, and I watched 3 minutes of Melania before it turned into a stripping down drag show, and I got to tell you, looks like a blast.
Speaking of what's it called, Melania, I remember somebody posted something up. He's like, I want to know what kind of outrage Republicans would have had if Obama like hosted a basketball game on the White House lawn for $20 million and then LeBron James called Melania a hooker.
Yeah, the dirt bike guys from Nitro Circus couldn't be reached for comment after this. Did you watch that S show?
None of those monkeys was wearing a suit from what I saw. So where's the outrage there?
Yeah, so in case you're wondering how disingenuous all your little right-wing heroes are, they're all scumbags, and frankly, I wish them nothing but the worst.
This whole argument be like, well, I'm going there because it's an honor to perform at the White House. Be like, cool, but Ku Klux Klan is hosting a rally down here on the actual, like, I don't know, like a historic site. Be like, you want to show up there? He's like, whoa. Like, yeah, just separate the artist from the art. Like, go for it. Like,
Well, I can tell you one thing, guys. The food is way better over at the Black Lives Matter rally, so... On that note, I think we're wrapping it up here, big guy.
We are. It's also one last thing. The Knicks have already turned down a visit to the White House, so not a single basketball team.
I did not know that, but you know what? That was way better. What a great way to end it. I love it. Thank
He's
God.
like, I'm from New York. I have New York real estate. Like, the New York Knicks just won. Like, they're not coming.
Well, after he cost them that broke their 13-game win streak by sleep farting through the first half, I wouldn't go either.
It's all right. Lee Greenwald's going to show up to impersonate the entire team. I'm Alex Medway.
Everything Fox News says is a lie. And I'm Eric Halsey.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.